Hello everybody, welcome to my channel, and in today's video I'm going to be painting this sketchbook spread and telling you guys a little bit about methods I use to get over art block. So I have plenty of experience with art block, and especially experience doing quote-unquote wrong things while trying to combat it. Typically I get art blocked because I'm just so overwhelmed with so many ideas that I get burnt out before I even start painting or creating what I want to create. Or I get art blocked because I'm so busy with other things in my life, like school, and maybe I'm working a lot, to a point where I've kind of forced myself to shut off that creative part of my brain and focus on the more, quote, important things. Both of these scenarios lead to serious creative burnout for me. But thankfully, I've compiled a list of solutions that I use and that I'm going to be sharing with you guys today. So the first one that kind of helps me prevent that kind of creative burnout is I have kind of master docs of ideas, and I have them up in front of my desk on the wall. I have just a piece of paper that has any idea I can think of. And I like watching videos where it's like things to do in your sketchbook, or if I'm watching a sketchbook tour and I really like some exercises somebody's doing, I'll write that down. Or if I'm watching a movie and I want to go back and do studies of it, I'll write that down. Or any character I want to do fan art of, any material that I want to use and how I want to use it. I just have lists of things to pick from. Instead of getting overwhelmed with all the ideas and kind of feeling like I need to do them all at once, or at least start them all at once, I write them all down, and then when I have time, I kind of do the ones that I want to do most, or ones that I think fit my schedule, and just kind of work through the list. None of it has a deadline. It's just a really helpful list of things that I want to do. Yeah, I think these master docs are really helpful for me, and also just kind of keeps me from having them all clouding my brain, and just lets me focus on one thing at a time. My second solution is a little less overarching, and it's just a simple little exercise that I do. I just do 15-minute figure studies, and it's really easy for me to squeeze them into a busy day. Just getting my hand moving and just getting pen on paper as a little exercise. And the best part is it doesn't matter if they turn out really good or really bad. It just matters that I did something and kind of maintained that, at least the practice of opening my sketchbook and drawing something. This is actually what I'm doing in this video. So solution 3 is just filling an entire page with one thing. And usually I break this up into 2 parts if I have time, where I do one spread full of sketch studies of one thing and just practicing. And then I do a kind of finished page, like I did this for my crow painting, my crow sketchbook spread, and then I did this one too. Yeah, just filling an entire page with one thing. This solution I would say is more time consuming if you do what I do, where I do a sketch page and then a full kind of illustration, but you can also just do a full page of sketches and then one illustration like in the corner, or just no illustrations at all, or just do the illustration. It's up to you. But I like to paint things or draw things like bugs, animals, plants, or even a cool idea that I've yet to do but I want to do is kind of pick a theme and then do a bunch of items that are related to that theme. I really want to do like a cafe inspired spread that has like coffee and desserts and all that, and maybe some like study kind of stuff, which I think would be really cool. My fourth solution is writing ideas. I know when I kind of get into an art block, and when I have ideas, or if I'm like, I want to make something, like the desire is kind of there, but everything that I draw looks bad and I'm just kind of not motivated to do any drawing itself, I write in my sketchbook. Yeah, like a lot of my sketchbook is writing and just thumbnailing and color exploring, stuff that isn't really focused on a finished illustration, but just expanding for future projects, or just like any random little ideas that I want to come back to. Yeah, using my sketchbook is kind of like a journal for anything art related. Really helps me get out of a a rut. It also helps when I'm either like too busy to do anything, just have like saving it for later and keeping it fresh in my mind. My fifth solution is using up an old art supply. This one is kind of like really specific for my kind of situation, but I have my Himi Maya gouache paints that they're not old, but I feel like I haven't used them up enough and they're starting to kind of age in a way that makes them unusable. So I am trying to use up what's left of them because I have like, there's not a lot left, but I would feel bad moving on from them without finishing them. So setting goals to finish them encourages me to explore and paint more with gouache in my sketchbook and also do finished things. If they turn out bad, it's a sketchbook, it's for like exploring and experimenting, so I'm not that heartbroken about it. And also just practicing gouache. I have wanted to get back into practicing gouache, and this video is kind of like, this spread I'm doing here is a way of doing that. I really like how this one came out, by the way. I really like how I use the gouache. But moving on from using up an old supply, my sixth solution is experimenting with a new art supply. Now this one, of course, is relative to, you know, everyone's different situation and if you're able to buy new art supplies. But I know that starting fresh with a new supply can really motivate me to draw in my sketchbook, and also just like getting comfortable with the new supply and doing a lot of practice drawings and stuff like that. If it's something like a pen or some new pencils. Yeah, that one is, for me, I like buying new supplies when I'm really in a groove and like I'm really motivated to do art and I have a lot of ideas and I'm already kind of exercised and prepared to use the new art supply. So it doesn't really work for me, but I've heard it works for a lot of other people, so I just wanted to throw that in there. My seventh solution is also kind of a niche one, but I wanted to throw it in here too, and that is product design. Although my shop hasn't launched yet, I do a lot of like product brainstorming and design. And in my sketchbook, sometimes I'll do more finished illustrations for products, but most of the time it's a lot of pencil and rough sketches and written notes. Or like I'll browse other artists' shops and just kind of take notes. I'm not trying to copy, but I'm just trying to look at what other people are doing and what their best sellers are and just kind of taking notes in my sketchbook. This is another kind of connected to writing ideas, but this one is just more for product design. And usually when I'm scrolling through people's shops and websites and stuff, I get really inspired by what they do, and that leads me to do artwork and kind of get out of my art block. I really like how this came out. I think I did really good with the gouache, to be honest, and I was trying to do something more vibrant and colorful, and I think I really succeeded in that. And yeah, now before I go, I do want to mention that I post a lot of my art over on my Instagram, and I have been kind of forgetting to talk about my Instagram in my past videos. So follow me on there for lots of updates, and I post kind of like little sketches on my story and daily updates, and this spread will also be up on my Instagram too. And also for future product ideas, I do have a couple kind of like questions for the people. So if you want to help out with my shop launch, be sure to follow me there and participate in my polls, because I will definitely be posting some soon. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.